online, your prospects and customers, right? So if you have a system in place of how you're contacting your hostesses, keeping in touch with them, your shows are booked, they're going to stay booked because you have that system. That's the stuff that you need to set up. Stop worrying about your desk. I hate that when I have that and someone says, well, I just really need to clean your office. For what? Get shows on your calendar. Get shows on your calendar. Then you can clean your office. No, I'm just kidding. So that's the biggest thing is we need to love on our hostesses, have a system for them, and then obviously your taxes, which we will go over. They'll go over it in then probably the next couple months. What's really a challenge is learning how to maintain your system. So if it's not working for you, but you have to give it several months. I would say 2 months at the minimum to try a new system. If it's not working for you, find a new system that you're feeling good about. Are my systems ever evolving? Yes. But do I maintain that I'm going to contact my hostess every week until the date of their show? Yes. Do I contact my hostesses within 24 to 48 hours, after booking their show? Prospects, 24 to 48 hours. Yes. Literally, the system can be so simple when you guys are starting out. That way you can keep it flowing and it's going to become easier as you're setting up new systems. Taking time in the areas of what you need to focus on most. You all know that. Like if you're saying, I'm really not holding my shows, what would I tell you to do? Reevaluate your hostess system. Something's going off on those. Those people don't not like you. Sorry. They love you, but they just didn't maybe know what to do for their show. Maybe something caught their eyes. You want to make sure that you're keeping in touch with those people, and if they're canceling on you, usually, and I feel bad, it's not them, it's you. So something in your system is not working out. We need to reevaluate. Talk to your upline. They are willing to be there. Your system may not be the same as theirs, but they can help you and guide you in what you're most comfortable with. So things you want to have systems that you're looking at. Calendar control. Are you in control of your calendar? I will tell you, for the first 5 years of my business, I was not. I wasn't. Situations or circumstances with my scheduling, all that kind of stuff, I couldn't be. And then other times I just didn't want to be. I'm not going to, but when I have found if you're in control of your calendar and you take this business as, this is what I'm going to do. This is not a hobby anymore. And I love that Millie said this. It is not a hobby anymore. It is a job. I did this for money. Think of it as a job, not a hobby, because that's what I looked at my business. I'm looking at him because he knows I tease myself. I joined this business as a hobby. I wanted to get out of the house and meet women. Well, now it's become a job because it's our full-time job and it's our sole source of income. So it's a difference. So if you can look at it like, what do I need to make a month? I have to do this. That becomes a huge aspect. Look at your family schedule. Plan your shows around them. They come first. So find your calendar control. Always put trainings first. New jeweler orientation and new sponsor orientation, and I'm going to call out on Melissa because she said seasoned jeweler, been in how many years? 5. She literally went to one last month and said it was the most awesome thing. Seasoned jewelers, go to them. They are refreshing. You hear things you might not have heard. Things might be updated. Love that she said that. So she may not go. She's not going to go to everyone, but she said, "Oh, I had a new jeweler. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to see what it's all about," which is I love. Go with your new jewelers. New sponsoring orientation. Jewel school, if they do those separately, or if they do that might be right with training. Your rallies, always put them in January 10th, July 8th through the 11th. I'm looking at David because I know he knows it too. Roundups, when they're called out. So this Bob Bolander and Nancy Hanran, I kind of consider it kind of like a roundup because it's going to be such big names up here, which is awesome. OPs. If you want to share this business, you go to OPs. Even if you don't have prospects, you go every week and set up that pattern for yourself, because what that does to you is it makes you intentional about sponsoring. Plus you learn way more about this business by going and hearing them from several different people, because every week it's different. It's awesome. Next section, you want to look at the days that you could do shows, and you want to talk to your family. That means your spouse, if you have one, or a significant other, children, and I'm not kidding, ask your children. We found out that I was gone a lot. So literally I would say, okay, Fridays and Saturdays, I'm pretty much going to be home. I'm not going to leave those days, and Friday is a complete family day, and we literally ask Alessis some days, we're like, what are you going to do today? And she'll say something funny because she's 3, but we'll give her a choice of 2. Do you want to go to the zoo? Do you want to go swimming? And it's fun because that's her day and she knows and she can look forward to it. Do those with your kids. Set those times apart with them. Make sure that you're putting those baseball games that you really want to go to, those games that you want to go to, those events that you want to go to on the calendar. And sometimes we have to make some sacrifices. We can't go out to all the practices because we have that intention. I have to work. I have to make the money. That's why I got into Premier. Next, you want to plan a time in your day that you can make 5 phone calls. You have to make 5 phone calls a day. Start them now because it will propel your business in the future. That may not be, if you do 30 minutes, great. If you've got 30 minutes to section out in your day, that's about what it's going to take you if you get someone on the phone. Most of the time, I'm not going to lie, you don't get someone on the phone. You know, you leave a message, but that's 5 phone calls. That is absolutely okay. Some people, if you work full time, how many of you work full time? You guys, awesome. So you're looking at me like 30 minutes, really. I want to come home. I want to veg out. If I don't have a show, I really don't. Literally do it on the way home from work. I have one gal that literally makes all of her phone calls before she walks in the house. She says, I'm going to make these phone calls and then I'll go into the house. Because she works full time. She's got 5 kids. Can't do it. So make sure that you're planning those phone call times and look at it the week before of who you're going to call. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, I don't know who to call. You always, and I'll be talking again about people that you can call. And designate time for your downline. If you have even one baby, designate a day of the week that you're going to reach out to her, a time of the week. If you have 7, maybe do one a day, except for Sundays, whatever. You have a designated time that you're going to reach out to them and pencil those people in. Those are very important people for you and for their business. They're looking at you for guidance. And then if you work full time, you might designate one night for them, for your downline. You might designate a little fun night that you get either I'm available from 7 to 9, first come, first serve, who wants to call me. That was something that we started doing. I literally reserve Wednesdays. Now that I have this luxury that Eric's home, I literally set up times with all the girls that aren't working. I set up times then, and then I'm able to talk to them and meet with them and have time with them, which is really awesome. So if anyone wants to meet on Wednesdays in the Rochester area, let me know. Okay, I'll come out. All right, hostesses. So you want to make up a nice little schedule or system with that, making appointments for hostess coaching. A lot of people aren't doing the home hostess coaching anymore. That's actually what was very normal, but now they have that awesome video, love it, or phone call. So if some of your women are not especially not calling out the older generation, the videos, online, YouTube, when you have someone at your show and you're like, everything's on YouTube, you know, when you show tricks, and they're literally like, I don't know what you're talking YouTube. So those are people you're gonna wanna call and do a hostess coaching with, telling them how the show is gonna go down and what they're going to do to help you make it the best show. They're your best friend. You wanna help them to have a really successful show. They're looking to you. Or make sure you're setting up the appointment that they watch the video. Give them an incentive. It doesn't have to be anything much. Setting up a time to get the guest list within a week. That's what I usually do when I first meet them. They need to send it to me in a week that confirms your show. And that also gives them their hostess packet. Then weekly follow-up contacts. So that literally I do every week. So it's either text, phone, email, whatever way is best for them, and I ask them that ahead of time. So set up that system for them that works for you. Then the same thing with prospects. You want a system for them. This includes all follow-up, the actual OP, because if you don't set the date, which would be crazy at the night of the show, you want to make sure that you're following up within 24 hours to get a date on that calendar, because that is the time they are most excited. But I recommend you getting the date on the calendar for OPs. If they come to a Tuesday night OP and you're scared to death to do one in person, then you just call your upline, make sure that they get on a conference call with you. And there might be some new conference calls coming out. And if any of you went to the Buffalo, I know Kathy gave some out, and Eric and I just made up one as well. So we can get that number out where you literally can listen in. It's less than 10 minutes, and they can hear it's literally facts, and they can hear it on the way to work. So don't be afraid that just because you can't meet them, there are ways to get out there and get the information to people, because people are busy. So you always want to keep a running list of those that are interested in Premier. You can make an Excel sheet. I look at Dana, I love her. She uses the Legal Pass, and she literally, I saw it, has pages upon pages upon pages of people she's talked to over 20 years. So she has a ledger, and it's brilliant. And she literally has little lines with a ruler that says when she contacted them. Keep those. I know it sounds silly. You're like, I have been in this business one day. So, think about it. I know, like crazy. Christina will remind you. I'm just kidding. Lips are portier. She's so new. I'm like loving her. Okay. But literally, when you met with them, or when you met them, when you did the OP with them, and then how many times have you contacted them? That's really going to help. Remember, it takes about 5 to 12 contacts before someone actually bites.
Really?
Unless they know they're going to join that day.
How many was that?
5 to 12. Do not give up on people. I was on I think I was number 5 or 6. Dana had called me, and I finally was like, okay, let's meet with her. And here I am. So thank God for her every day. I do. You know, if I had not picked up that phone that 5th time, I think it was. So
We were ready.
next system. I'm sorry, I'm not going over.
You're doing great.
Okay. Customers. Make a system of customers. That means calls, when you just want to make customer care calls. Those are really awesome. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what do I do with those? I have verbiage that we can share with you. It's actually on our website, I think, too. And it's actually in the new jeweler orientation, I still believe. And if it's not, I can send it to you. Literally on my two 2 week, and then 2 months. And it's actually about 45 days I make the phone calls. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I can't do all that. That's okay. At least make the golden guarantee one, 45 days out. Make sure they understand the value of the golden guarantee, and you never know what you might find. I found that a lot in Jacksonville. You'd get a call and be like, my necklace has been broken. Oh my gosh, well, let's take care of it before it's too late. Or this, I haven't really taken it out of the box. It's not something, well, let's take care of you. You know, if you want to get something else, that's fine. They don't know the value of the golden guarantee unless we share it with them. At the show, they can't retain everything. Women need several times to understand something. So make sure that you're putting that in their ear. Make a database for your customers if you don't have put in-house. Make a database and make sure that you're keeping them on a promotion and sample sale list. That was something I started in Jacksonville because I was like, I don't know how to keep in touch with all these people. They put a big star next to their email at the show on their order form. I used my running wish list. Whatever way it is, if it's on your guest survey, have a sample sale promotion list. Send out only 4 emails a year. Do not bug them. You will be surprised in the return and investment of just having said that, you know, with orders, with new hostesses that you're like, I don't even remember meeting her. I feel so bad. But, you know, you never know who's going to chime in and say, oh my gosh, I'll take you up on that offer. Oh, I want a catalog. I want this. So 4 emails a year I do, and I tell them that at shows, and it literally is about per quarter. So, and then put interested people on a survey, guest survey, whether it be a show and or a prospect. If you're not able to set anything for those dates, if they're way down the line, like January of 2016, I don't know, whatever it is, put them in an accordion folder. I have a cool little accordion folder that's on my desk that literally has the month of the year. And if they say, you know what, I don't really want to be contacted, I can't book a show today, you have those people. Can you please call me at the end of September? She is literally inserted in my September accordion folder when I came home because I use my order form for my actual everything that I put everything on. So that helps you to make sure that when you are able to call your September, that gives you somebody to call at the end of September, which is really nice. And you're gonna be like, hey, I know you told me to call you at the end of September. Now you're not scared. She told you to call you. So now say that, hey, you told me to call you at the end of September. But what's the most important thing? Call her. Don't just say, well, maybe she didn't really want to. No, she really did. So put her in that, call her. Next one is time management. Eric, I love you for this, and this is totally on him because he's my man for scheduling. Plan your week the Friday before the next week. Now, we do ours on Sunday. He would love to be it on Friday. We don't do it because that's family day. We don't talk about premiere on family day, sort of. So, literally, it's like I realize we kind of do because these are write-ups. We can go to lunch. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Have a weekly schedule to jot down appointments, calls. Again, if you're full-time, that way if you have a 10-minute break at lunch and you know you're not going to be around people, you could call 2 to 3 people. This was honestly the hardest thing for me to get scheduled. Honestly, it is. Scheduling time is so hard. You come home and you're like, what? I have no time to do anything, right? How many people feel like,
and then you spend your time that you do have trying to figure out what you're going to do.
Yes. So if you can take the week before, I thank him because they do this in the Navy, take the time, it takes 30 minutes. With Eric and I, it may take 45. No, it takes 30 minutes to figure out. And he's got this really cool how to, like, literally hour by hour. It sounded so silly to me because I was like, why do I need to know hour by hour? But it has been such an amazing help to me to keep on track. I'm so much more efficient with my meetings with my girls. And they'll actually laugh at me like, oh, Erin's got to go. It's 12:30. She told me 12:30. And it's true. But they actually look at it and they're like, that's really awesome.
But
I wish I could be like that.
your time is valuable, too. So.
Well, but I look at it, too, like, I want to be able to reach everybody. So if I'm worrying about staying somewhere for 2 hours, it's hard. So if I can say, hey, I got about an hour and a half, could you do 11 to 12:30? And I always put an end time, and then I'm not kidding, at 12:30, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get going. Even if it's to come back to my family because they're important to me. So make sure that you're doing it hour per hour. He literally made up a cool Excel little scheduling for us, and then it kind of has the 5 phone calls I'm supposed to make and the downline. And it's cool because we work it together, we look at it together, do it with your husband, make sure that you know, put in workout times, put in everything that you would want to do in your day, but it really helps you to keep on track of what you're supposed to do. Because that was like me. Carrie made a good point. You literally look and like, who am I supposed to call today? I have so much to do. So make sure you're doing it the week before, and now you know exactly what to do. Find the nooks and crannies of your day. A lot of people have children, and it's crazy. Literally know you have an hour and a half or an hour if they're down for nap, or even if you don't, just be like, you need to go for quiet time because I needed 30 minutes. You know, seriously, give them something to do. Pull out a fun little bin of toys if you're staying at home with them that they never, ever, ever get to play with, and they get to play with it so you can make those 30 minutes of call. It is worth your time, and it's worth theirs because you're doing it for them. Have a priority list, like I already said, of who you want to call. Priority list, again, following up with upcoming hostesses, prospect, Hello. Invitations for hostesses, returns and exchanges, do those in a timely manner. First levels that need to be contacted, closing submitted shows, and then the secondary list if you have the time prepping for your shows. How many people spend a ton of time prepping for their shows? And okay, are you new though? I'm gonna give you, okay, good. That's okay. So that's what's really great. If you're new, it's gonna take you time to prep for it. But if you're not, if you're more of a seasoned, minimal. I literally get to a show 30 minutes before it starts. Have a setup time that's easy and know exactly what needs to be replenished and replenish it when you get home from your show. It makes literally the time with your family. You're not worrying about changing everything about your show. Please don't change your show if it's working. That's the only thing that's another plug. All right. Entering your business expenses. How many people love taxes? Okay, me too, I know. Well, you should, you're an accountant. But honestly, it can be it's honestly simple. And if you have someone that enjoys it in the family, like Eric actually took that over very early and, kind of looking at all that kind of stuff and putting shows into the Excel program, all that, utilize them. Because honestly, if you have that, that's awesome. If not, it's actually really fun and easy because they have really cool, different people have different Excel programs that you can put them into and enter all your expenses. If you're really scared, talk to your upline. They will sit down with you and help you out. And we also do trainings throughout the year about it. So all the other stuff will be covered in the next couple time. But I'm really thankful so much to be here. I hope I didn't go crazy.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.